Have you ever spent more time avoiding a task than it would have taken to just do it? That exhausting internal negotiation, where negotiating with yourself is more work than the task itself. You are absolutely not alone in that feeling. In fact, your brain is hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, which makes doing things we hate one of the greatest universal human challenges. But what if I told you that willpower has almost nothing to do with it, and that there is a reliable, step-by-step system to break through that resistance? This system is based on the brilliant work of author and human psychology researcher Peter Hollins in his book, How to Do Things You Hate. Today, I am going to walk you through a powerful 5-step framework derived from his work. This is not about fluffy motivation or just trying harder. This is a practical guide to building unbreakable discipline and finally stopping procrastination for good. So let's begin with the most critical step, the one that breaks the initial barrier every single time. The single greatest obstacle you will ever face is simply starting. The moment you even consider a task you dislike, your brain magnifies the entire horrible experience into an impossible mountain. The key is to make the starting point so small, so non-threatening, that your brain does not put up its usual fight. This is the genius of the 5-minute rule. You do not need to finish the task, you do not even need to make significant progress. You only need to commit to working on it for 5 minutes. Set a timer for just 5 minutes and give yourself unconditional permission to stop when it goes off. What you will find, almost without exception, is that the act of starting completely dissolves the mental resistance. The hardest part is already over, and you will often find yourself continuing well past that 5-minute mark. This rule is not about the amount of work you get done. It is purely a psychological trick to bypass your brain's fear of starting. If you consistently struggle with discipline, the problem might not be you. The problem is likely your environment. Relying on willpower is a failing strategy because willpower is a finite resource that gets depleted throughout the day. A much smarter approach is to stop fighting your environment and start designing it for success. This means making the behaviors you want easy and the behaviors you want to avoid difficult. If you get distracted by your phone, charge it in another room. If you want to go to the gym in the morning, sleep in your workout clothes. If you need to work on a report, leave the document open on your computer desktop. This is about being a designer, not a disciplinarian. You are strategically removing friction from your desired path and adding friction to your distractions. When you engineer your environment effectively, you will find that making the right choice requires barely any thought or effort at all. We all have a constant running narrative in our heads, and the story we tell ourselves about a task determines our entire experience of it. The thought, "I have to do this boring and frustrating tax paperwork," creates a feeling of resentment and obligation. That feeling then fuels procrastination. The key to lasting discipline is learning to change that internal story, a process often called cognitive reframing. It is about consciously shifting your perspective to see the action not as a burden, but as a choice that aligns with your deeper goals. Instead of saying "I have to work on this presentation," you could say "I get to invest in my professional skills and advance my career." You are not just doing dishes, you are creating a clean and peaceful space for your family. This is not about lying to yourself. It is about connecting your small, annoying actions to their much larger and more meaningful positive outcomes. When you change the story, you change the feeling, and the action becomes manageable. If you are finding this framework helpful, please take a second to like it and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us grow and reach other people who need to watch this very video. We often fail because we aim too high too soon. We decide to become perfectly disciplined people overnight, which is an overwhelming and impossible standard. The path to consistency is not through massive leaps, but through tiny, daily steps. This is the power of micro-habits. A micro-habit is a version of a desired behavior that is so small it is impossible to fail. Do not aim to do an hour at the gym, aim to put on your running shoes. Do not aim to write a full chapter, aim to write one sentence. The goal is not the output, the goal is the ritual. You are building the neural pathway of showing up. By making the habit incredibly small, you eliminate the resistance and ensure you can do it even on your worst days. And once you start, you will often do more than you planned. This process builds momentum and proves to yourself that you are the kind of person who follows through, which is the very foundation of genuine self-discipline. The final and most advanced step is a fundamental shift in your relationship with discomfort. We operate under a false belief that we should only act when we feel motivated or happy about a task. We see negative emotions as a stop sign. The truth is that feelings are often irrelevant. Discipline means acting in accordance with your goals, regardless of how you feel in the moment. This step is about accepting that discomfort, boredom, and frustration are not signals to quit. They are simply the price of admission for achieving anything meaningful. They are the feeling of growth. When you feel that urge to quit because something is hard, you can learn to acknowledge the feeling without obeying it. You can say, "I see that I am feeling frustrated, and I am going to continue working anyway." This ability to act despite your emotions, to make peace with the grind, is what separates those who talk about goals from those who actually achieve them. So there you have it, a complete 5-step system to stop procrastinating and build real discipline. Remember, this is not about perfection. It is about progress. Start with the 5-minute rule to break the initial resistance. Engineer your environment to make good choices easy. Rewrite your internal story to connect your actions to your purpose. Build consistency through impossibly small micro-habits. And finally, make peace with the inevitable discomfort that comes with doing hard things. This is your new blueprint. You do not have to implement all 5 steps at once. Pick the one that resonates most with you right now and start there. The journey to overcoming procrastination is built by starting small, being consistent, and understanding that your brain is built for comfort, but you are built for so much more. You have the power to do things you hate, and to build the life you want. Thank you for watching.